As you begin assembly modeling in Fusion, it is important to understand several terms and relationships. An assembly is a collection of components that function as a single design. A component is a container for design elements like sketches, geometry, bodies, joints, origins, and even other components. You can use the position, joint, and motion features to define relationships between components in a design. When building models that require assembly, motion animation, or a bill of materials, components are required. It is best practice to create components as soon as possible in the design process, before creating geometry. Defining the locations of components early in the timeline keeps the structure of the assembly organized and helps to ensure that references update properly. As a simple demonstration of assembly modeling, suppose you want to create an assembly using this box design. Currently, it does not have any components, but you can create a component from an existing body. In fact, you will need more than one component, so that you can create joints between them. Making copies of the box first will enable you to create multiple components at once. In the browser, expand Bodies. To make a copy of the box, right-click the box body and select Copy. Then, right-click the canvas and select Paste. Now, use the manipulator arrows to move the copy of the box along the x-axis. Click OK to complete the move. Right-click and choose Paste again, and then move the box along the x-axis past the second box. Click OK. In Fusion, you can create components from bodies in several ways. To create individual components from a single body, in the browser, right-click the body and select Create Components from Bodies. Click Undo to undo the command. To create components from all the bodies, right-click the Bodies folder and select Create Components from Bodies. Again, click Undo. You can also create new bodies from the Design Workspace toolbar. On the Solid tab, click the Assemble menu and select New Component. In the New Component dialog, verify that From Bodies is selected. You can select one or all of the bodies. Here, select all three boxes, and then click OK. Now, in the browser, you can see that all three bodies have been converted to components. Expand a component to view the body from which it was created. With multiple components in the design, you can now create joints. A joint positions components relative to one another and defines motion between them. From the Assemble menu, select Joint. On the component that you want the joint to move, click to place a joint origin. Then, do the same on a second component to finish defining the joint position. In this case, rotate the model to click the faces between the first and second boxes, starting with the second box. Be sure to select a point on the middle of each face. In the Joint dialog, on the Position tab, select an origin mode for each component. Simple, between two faces, or two-edge intersection. For this example, leave Component 1 and Component 2 set to Simple. Next, either click the Motion tab or expand the On-Canvas slider drop-down to select from the available joint types: rigid, revolute, slider, cylindrical, pin slot, planar, or ball. In this case, select Slider, then click OK to confirm. To drive the joint and create motion, on the toolbar, click Assemble, Drive Joints. This enables you to set a driving value, or the amount the joint will move while being driven. Click to select the joint, and then drag the arrow manipulator to set the movement value. You can also specify a value. When you are finished, click OK. This joint currently does not have any limits. In the browser, right-click the new Slider 1 joint and select Edit Motion Limits. In the dialog, you can set the minimum and maximum distances for the joint to move. Select both the minimum and maximum checkboxes. Leave the minimum at 0 and set the maximum distance to 40 millimeters. Click Preview Limits to see the movement. Then click again to stop the preview. Click OK to confirm the limits. The first two boxes are now connected with a joint, while the third does not have any joints and is free moving. You can ground the third component to fix it in a set position. In the browser, right-click the component and select Ground to Parent. The box component is now grounded, and the component icon updates with an anchor. The box is now fixed in position and cannot be moved with the pointer. You now know how to create a simple assembly by creating several components from bodies, connecting components with a joint, and grounding a component to fix it in position.